want to reach yoga to 80 countries, I think we already have a connectivity here. 80 countries covering 219 cities.
Wow.
Where physically he visited and done the work of yoga, connected with several foundations. He is well educated, attended a program, owner, president, manager program at Harvard. He teaches at American Institute of Central Asia in Moscow, American Institute of Dubai, American Institute of Sharjah, and many other universities. On behalf of Friends of Yoga, we welcome you, sir, for your presence here. And I know that on time front we are running out of time, but we definitely would value your 10 minutes of motivational speech, and I'm sure all of these people will be charged to do double duty instead of morning duty, probably morning and evening duty, or whatever else they can do. Welcome, please join me in welcoming Professor As. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, Friends of Yoga. Thank you for having me over here to speak, not to lecture this time, and basically to share with you my experiences of having traveled 40% of the planet. I did that with the intention of finding out what great travelers around the world did, and what were they seeking, and what did they find through their travels. I will briefly just mention a few things over here, and I must emphasize, being a landscape and wildlife photographer, I am very close to animals, which normally people don't get a chance living in urban societies or in cities. When it comes to animals, it's rather a unique experience with each animal, but there are a lot of common things among these animals. And one thing that you learn from animals is the instinct. They have an instinct to eat, they have an instinct to kill, they have an instinct to be together, and they have an instinct to follow their life through it. Human beings also have instincts, and we do use our instincts for many, many things, and on many occasions. But it is through service of mankind that we learn how to sharpen our instincts. And one of the services is through the service of yoga. How I would say that is very simple. A few years ago, my child came to me and said, "Dad, I'd like to know what yoga is about." And I said, "It's very simple." He said, "How can you prove to me that yoga is going to be good for me?" And I said, "Why do you ask me that question?" And he said, "Dad, is it the fashion to do yoga these days?" And I said, "No, son, I don't think it's the fashion to do yoga. It's more than fashion. It's a lot to do with yourself and finding yourself." And he said, "Dad, can I really find myself through yoga?" I said, "Of course you can find yourself through yoga." He said, "Tell me, how can you do it?" I said, "Very simple. Go get a glass of water from the fridge." He brought a glass of water. I said, "Now hold it. Hold it close to your body." He held it. I said, "Son, tell me, how much is the weight of this water?" He said, "Dad, it's about 100 grams. I said, "Keep holding it. I'll ask you in 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I asked him, he said, "Dad, it's about 120 grams now." I said, "Really? Has the weight of the water changed, or what happened?" And he said, "Dad, no, the weight of water hasn't, but I feel it's 120. I said, "Hold it for another 10 minutes. And soon that 120 became 150 grams. And when it became 150 grams, I said, "Do you realize what has happened? The weight of water has been constant. But what has changed is your stress level. And how you manage the stress with the constant weight of water is what yoga is going to teach you." And he said, "How does that happen?" And I said, Yoga basically goes about, it's not a taboo word, it's not something connected with religion. It's about discovering yourself. It's about being honest to yourself. It's about judging yourself and knowing where you are weak and where your strength lies. Sharpening your weakness and improving your strength, that's what yoga does to you. And he said, how does it happen? I said there are only three ways a human being thinks. Either through his mind, or through his heart, or through his spiritual. I said yoga creates a perfect equilibrium between these three methods of thinking. And in that equilibrium, it releases energy and gives you the satisfaction that you've been looking for. And then you won't feel the weight of this world. And he said, is that true? And I said, yes. I said, it is energy within you that you are able to capture and share it with the rest of the world. And he said, how do you do that, Dan? And I said, the moment you start becoming positive, the whole world becomes positive around you. You see everything with a positive eye. It opens the third eye. It opens completely your way of looking at things. It makes you understand that there are two sides to a coin and how to observe the other side rather than just look at the side that most people look at. It's through the effort of pain on the muscular body that we are able to stimulate our senses to be able to capture completely the motivation within our body to seek eternal happiness. This may be pretty tough words, to tell a young boy, but he got the message and he started practicing yoga. Well, I've been traveling a lot myself. It's something that interests a lot of people coming from India. What is yoga and how do you go about it? I'm really happy to have been introduced to this society, which is Friends of Yoga, and I'm sure you all are doing a great job. I wish you all the best in the future, and definitely there is need of many, many, many more positive, selfless teachers like you all, as well as students, to transmit around the world this positive energy, which will in turn seek positive energy. I wish you all the best, and thank you very much.
Now, I would request Dr. Jindal to say a few words of inspiration and his